Let's just like start rolling it so we can actually take a little moment and fix it a little bit. Okay, well, cheers. Cheers. Okay. Oh, okay, let's prepare this.
How's the coffee?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
I think they're very good with coffee. Hello,
we should start the video like that, where we just like generally chatting and then go into it.
I think to be honest, like it could just be a cutout. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is a 1-year update since my Vaser Liposuction procedure, which I've got it done at Bellevue in Tunbridge Wells. Here today with me I have Ed Lamond, who's my fellow blogger friend who completely changed my life, and I'm so grateful. You got your surgery done a few weeks before mine.
Yeah.
And would you be able to tell me about how was your experience?
I was approached by Bellevue as well about having Vaser Lipo, which I'd never heard of. So I did a bit of research into it. Then I thought about the two things, you know, the surgery itself, and then if it would work for me and, you know, my issues with my body. Because I love fitness, I've always loved fitness, and I work out nearly every day, but I was really struggling to remove the fat around my stomach area, mainly because of poor diet, getting into fitness quite late in life, a bit of a hernia around my belly button. It was very, very hard to kind of strip the fat back. What I found really interesting when I started speaking to Bellevue is it wasn't liposuction as in you're slightly bigger than you are and then you're removing the fat. This is a surgery that helps you, assists you in the muscle that you've worked so hard to achieve and build, to define that, to structure it, and to kind of bring it forward. So I was really intrigued that, you know, an 8-hour surgery can do this. I'm actually someone that's not very squeamish. I've had a few surgeries in my life, so I had no issues with the actual procedure itself, and you know, so I went for it, and I was really pleased.
I think we had similar experience when we both were not fully satisfied with our bodies, even though we were living quite an active lifestyle, but we just noticed like the progress that we were making was not up to the standards. But apart from your experience, I never had any surgery of any kind done before. At first, like when you messaged me, I was started researching about Vaser Liposuction procedure, and I thought like, oh, I'll definitely do it, it's a piece of cake. But then when we went to a clinic and had a consultation with Dr. Amir, he explained us in full detail what it was, and that kind of like took me back a little bit. I was like, oh my god, I'm not sure if I'm ready to, you know, to have a full-on liposuction surgery. But I think having you getting your surgery done before mine, I think that kind of made me more confident. It's actually quite nice to have someone who is kind of on the same journey with me, and we both had different reasons. You know, you got a hernia situation, I have body deformity where my chest bones are more in. So they sculpt my body to make it more aesthetically pleasing from the front and profile as well. So like the main focus of the surgery was the abdomen area we had.
The reason I reached out to Scare Me is because when I was initially speaking to Bellevue about my surgery, they actually needed another case study. It was a new surgery that the clinic was performing, and they needed some before and after photos. I think the fact we had a bit of a social presence, you know, obviously helped boost them as well. So yeah, when I was initially speaking to them, they said, you know, do you know anyone else that would like the surgery now? I reached out to you because I knew that we had both similar genetic problems, and we were at that space in time where we were losing our motivation for daily fitness.
But there's so much stigma happening around plastic surgery and liposuction in general, where people falling back, you know, they're having a surgery and then they go back to their previous shape, the way they were. Whereas we wanted to kind of prove that, you know, this was a Kickstarter for us to start a new life, start a new lifestyle for.
This is it. Outcome doesn't stop at the day you leave the surgeon's table. I would say the hardest bit is the maintenance. It's not the surgery itself or the preparation, it's the maintenance after. Because you have to exercise regularly, eat well, you have to look after your body.
When I had my 1-year review with Amir, he explained that after Vaser liposculpting procedure, the fat in the areas we had the surgery on is not going to come back.
But I didn't know that.
It would come back in other areas. In my own experience, after having a surgery, my abdomen area was very smooth and there was barely any fat in there. But then surrounding areas, when it comes to my back, my sides, and
it highlights
my face
other areas, doesn't it?
So you can see like a slight dynamics of our bodies. So for me, like, what can I do to go towards a healthy lifestyle to make my whole body look healthy and as best as it could be? I started researching about diets and what foods are good for you, and then I discovered plant-based diet, aka vegan diet is probably one of the healthiest ones out there, and I thought I was going to give it a go. From April till July I was practicing vegan diet, but it was still kind of a bit veggie. But then, like, gradually as I moved towards a fully plant-based diet, so since July I've been fully committed to that, and it definitely reflects on my body, my face, and I haven't looked this good ever. So now when I meet my friends who haven't seen me for a few months, they're like, oh wow, you changed so much. And I think you also changed your diet a little bit.
So I actually went towards a vegetarian diet. I would say that I'm kind of flexing the fact that, you know, like this morning I ate salmon with my breakfast and I eat eggs. So I'm very much I would say like pretty much like 80% vegetarian. But you know, I have things like vegan protein because whey protein makes me bloat. So I've switched things up. Things like peanut butter, like I don't have the oily peanut butter anymore, I have the powdered peanut butter. So
really?
Yeah, I just switch a lot of stuff around that I know will lower the calorie intake, because, you know, it's something I want to be aware of. I'm not sure about you, but I feel like this surgery's made my stomach shrink a bit. So if I eat quite a lot of food, I do get a bit of a stomachache, I'm not gonna lie.
I just have as much as I want. I don't really like limit myself or anything, but it's just
it's not healthy, it's plant-based.
Yeah,
so.
But I never overeat. For me it's actually quite exciting to make food at home. I got really just more interested in like what sort of nutrients I can get from each ingredient, and I try to like make a very healthy balance of having enough carbs, fats and protein. Last year, for most of the last year, I was experimenting with the diet, seeing what nutrients I can apply for, and then I started going to more fitness classes. I've been doing mostly like kickboxing classes, rowing classes, like One Rebel.
And look at these arms! Look at these arms!
There's not much going on. You made a conscious decision to pass a personal training course?
So I'm now a qualified fitness instructor. So yeah, just goes to show you how it's kick-started my passion for fitness, and I train 5 to 6 days a week, and I love it. I focus a lot on core and abs classes, but a lot of strength training as well, just because that's the main thing I noticed when those garments first came off a month after, that I had these great abs but I had these skinny arms. So you really have to even out the rest of your body.
I think having a surgery really gave us more motivation to just strive to be the best we can be. Okay, so we have a few questions that people asked both of us, so whether it was on YouTube, Instagram DM, so we're gonna address that.
Sure.
Siga Seydigel said, hey, when does it stop hurting?
We had different pain thresholds, didn't we? Because I would say the most pain for me was during the surgery, because I was under twilight sedation where you are kind of aware of what's going on. So I did say it did hurt a little bit throughout the surgery. I mean, you are getting poked in the ribs with a hot poker essentially. That first 24 hours of the drip, I couldn't even sit down, lay down, I was so uncomfortable. But I would say the pain stopped the moment the drips came out for me. But you were fine, you had no pain compared to me.
Yes, so basically I stayed in this room in the clinic for a few hours, and then they took me to the hotel and they gave me loads of medication. So I think the medication did actually help me to not feel as much pain.
Because we had to go on a course of medication, didn't we, like a week after.
Yeah, it's almost like it was every 2 hours you have to.
But it did help with bruising, I would say.
It did help with bruising. When people say like, oh, did you feel a lot of pain? The answer is no. There was discomfort that I had, especially the first 24 hours, like for you, when we had the drains in and when we took the drains out. But there was never like, oh, I'm in so much pain. Maybe I don't find the connection between the pain and discomfort.
And maybe you just enjoy pain.
Oh, maybe it's part of me.
You know, people ask a lot about pain, and it's not so much pain, it's the discomfort of wearing the garments. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I went straight back to work, a week after, and I was going up and down from Tunbridge Wells to London, and it was so discomforting having the garment, all the garment and the padding on, as well as my outfit, and going to work and back each day. It was exhausting, actually.
No, I was quite lucky to stay at your mom's house for a week, because otherwise I don't think I would be able to imagine it. That's why I personally recommend, if you are getting a big surgeries like this done, I would strongly recommend getting them done somewhere that's not very far away from where you live.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Or just book a nice Airbnb and hotel close by, because you will not want to travel. It is quite discomforting having to travel a long distance after the surgery. Yeah, and also when I came back to London from Tunbridge Wells, I couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't cycle. I couldn't do any exercises like walking. I think because my body was recovering, I was feeling tired more frequently, so I couldn't walk long distances. I had to take buses, tubes and stuff to get to places. And
yeah, I had to get as much rest as I can, so I was sleeping longer hours. I was trying to like rest as much as I can.
Yeah.
I think also having that compression garment really kind of add that extra weight, you know, so you definitely feel a bit under the weather, but it's not something that really affects probably productivity. You can still work, you can still do things, but I think when it comes to physical activity, you have to kind of like tone it down a little bit.
You just have to adapt things. When I went back to work, I actually couldn't sit at a desk because it was too low. So they had stools at a bar, so I would just sit at the bar and kind of like stretch out or just stand up and work on my laptop.
Yeah.
You just have to adapt things to make yourself comfortable after the surgery. That it is just that 1 month where you've got the garments, but oh my god, when those garments come off, that is when life begins.
Yes, it had like some moments when I was taking the soft garment off and it kept the overall, just to kind of touch my body, and it feels so crazy. Like it feels like, oh my god, I never had this body.
It's like a little cheeky peek and then it goes straight back on.
Yes, yeah. So it feels quite firm at first, but our bodies are now used to this like new change, and it's like actually much more smoother, much more settled.
Yeah.
After the surgery, like you can see a much more stronger definition, but now as the time goes past, like we're getting like a smoother version of that.
Yeah, we do give ourselves a very hard time. I think there's a few reasons for this. We do have that slight pressure to, you know, keep it up and make it looking best. But yeah, we just don't want to go back to the way we were before, because we know that we are living healthier lives now, that we aesthetically look better.
And we're also feeling slightly more confident.
Yeah.
And
we just want to make sure it's looking as good as it did, you know, when we first had the surgery, I guess.
Also, so you said how many days can you do every single activity?
I think fitness was 6 weeks later, which was hard because you just want to get straight back into the gym after, don't you?
The guys at the clinic said that you can do exercises of places that you didn't get your surgery done. So let's say if you got abdomen and chest area done, like they say you can only do arms or maybe a bit of a leg exercise.
Yeah, I like, you can't go and do like a Barry's boot camp.
No, you can't.
You have to like go into a gym and just, you know, do some light weights on your arms, like Naomi was saying. You just have to ease yourself back into it. Maybe a bit of yoga would be quite good, really, but you can't just go straight back into the hardcore working out.
And everyone is different, so some people would probably take the whole 6 weeks to recover. Some people can just actually start and do some exercises like after 2 weeks. You know? I personally, I wanted to take as much time as I can, not rush anything, and just let my body to naturally recover and be like, okay, I'm ready, do whatever you want to do.
It will be a bit of a shock to your system. When I first did a Barry's boot camp class after the surgery, it really pulled on my stomach, but then that's because I hadn't trained those muscles, so just don't freak out if that happens to you.
So we also have someone called Carl Bembridge.
Oh, I know him.
You know him?
Yeah, we follow each other on Instagram.
So yeah, he
hairstylist.
Yeah, so he messaged me and he asked me a few questions about the surgery because he saw my video, and he said, "Are there any parts you would say do or not do?"
Any parts of the body?
Of the body, yeah. We both got the same part of our bodies done. So,
I mean, the only part we didn't have done is our flanks, which are these little bits here. And we were told that you're supposed to, like, you know, if you have that, they wanted to make sure we had a masculine figure, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't do our flanks here, because males are supposed to have these little bits here that go out. I didn't know that.
We actually know someone who got also his arms done.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what sort of like
People
results you want to achieve. Yeah, also some people can get their chin done, like their face, make them like much more tighter. Yeah. So it really depends on what sort of results you want to achieve.
Like shape, I guess.
Yeah, I personally wanted to just make my abdomen area much more
I'm happy with the areas that I've had done. I don't think there would be any other areas that I would want to do.
Yeah, because personally we both are quite fairly young to actually burn some fat from other areas.
Yeah.
Because like we said previously, you know, they remove all the fat from our abdomen area, but all the other areas had the same, you know, as it was before. I actually lost around 2 stone, more than 2 stone over this past year, and I can still see, like, you know, skin differs from like what it was in, what is in the areas that I didn't get surgery done or where I got the surgery done.
Yeah.
So it really is up to you what sort of result you want to achieve. Stuart asked me a few questions.
Okay, cool.
You wrote quite a bit. He asked for before and after pictures.
Always seen people, because they plan a lot of travel in advance, people were asking about flying, and I actually flew the day I took my garments off, or was allowed to take my whole garments off. But what I did was, because I just had this fear of like going on the plane and everything expanding, so I actually bought some Under Armour like compression I don't know what they were, like cycling shorts things, and wore those throughout the flight, and I think it did actually help keep everything nice and tight. So yeah, travelling is fine. I think you can probably travel in your garments as well, but I would just say if you are flying afterwards, just because we do naturally swell on a plane, just to try and wear those compression garments, even if you're told that you don't need them anymore.
The same week I took my garment off, I was going to Tel Aviv for Eurovision. When I took my soft garment off, I still kept the overalls on for like a good week. So like I wore that for like an extra week just to feel comfortable in my own skin. But when I was in Tel Aviv, like I was just on the roll, and I didn't have the fear that my body would expand.
It is a strange one at first though, because it takes you a while to connect with the fact it's your body. And because it's so alien, so it looks so different to what you're used to.
So Ed, tell us, where can people find you on social media and online?
Sure, so I run a men's lifestyle blog called Mr. 30 Something, Mr30something.com, and on Instagram, Mr. 30 Something, all words, but I'm sure you're going to link it below, right?
Yes, of course I will. And on his website, you can also find his liposculpting journey. Have you done a little follow-up? Or you just
it's all in my cosmetic section of the blog.
So in cosmetic sections, you can find his Vaser Liposuction journey, as well as a few other things that he's done in the past. So it's very all exciting. You can also find my blog post about my journey on my blog, Mr. Salt and Pepper. So we both Misters, you know. So MrSaltandPepper.com, and my Instagram @Scammy. If you still have some questions that you'd like to ask about our Vaser Liposuction journey, please do let me know in the comment section, on his blog comment section, on his Instagram posts, and we'll get back to you. Until next time, thank you. Bye.
Bye.